finally met a woman who was way more freaky than me. Yeah, she was. She wanna do it in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening, we freaking. She love to get it on. Yeah, I had to sleep with one eye open, but this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. I had to sleep with one eye open, yeah, but this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. All she wanna do is make love.
All right, man. We're back with another episode of the Chatterbox with King Jacob, man, and we're here, man, with a topic that is much needed for some attention. Stop the gun violence. And I have my brother here, brother Alonzo, man. He's had experience, of being, in the streets, and but I always tell people when I talk about them, from the streets to the ministry. That's what I always tell people about him. And so, man, I just want to welcome him, brother Alonzo. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Peace and blessings, my brother.
How you, man?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain at all.
Good, good, man. So before we get to this topic, go ahead and introduce yourself, my man.
My name is Brother Alonzo. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. God brought me from the trenches, from the streets. Um, like my movement is called Gangster to a Godly Man, from gang to greatness, and that pretty much sums it all up. From gang to greatness. Used to be an ex-gang leader, but now I'm walking in greatness and purpose.
Okay, man. Okay, man. That's definitely a remarkable journey, man. And I could say that you are, I will say that you are living testimony on, the power of the Holy Spirit, and how God can deliver you and have a greater purpose and a greater mission for your life, man. So
Yes, sir.
this topic is stopping the gun violence, man. We have so many things that we see on the news and when you read on social media, even in the state newspaper, about gun violence in the community, man. What would you want to say about how we can restructure and rebrand and restore the community to eliminate some of this gun violence?
To me, to eliminate the gun violence is it's a saying that my uncle say that the gun is not the weapon. The people with the gun is the weapon. Because you the gun won't go off unless the person behind it pulled its trigger. So we have to it have to be like gun control, like trying to control who the hands of the guns get in. That's mainly the whole problem. Because even with today's society, if just a regular person that got a family, living your life, you might need a gun to protect your family, protect yourself, because you got people out here that rob people, people that try to come in your house. You got this world crazy, but then you got the people who the guns get in the wrong hands, and they don't have the knowledge on how to use the gun. They be reckless with the guns, and that's what we see what's going on in today's society. You got a bunch of young people that's not educated when it comes to using guns, or they look at the perspective when it comes to the music or TV shows and all that, and this thing that, oh, I can use this gun on anybody or shoot it in a type of way, and but they can't. But the consequences that come behind it, they can't take those consequences. So to sum it up is just trying to find a way like gun control, controlling the hands that the guns get in. some type of way. But it's so crazy nowadays. It's hard to control that because you got people that breaking houses, people breaking cars, and they get the guns. The young people might get the guns. Or it don't necessarily be young people. You got grown people too that might break in a house or a car and take a gun. So that's kind of like a tricky question when it comes to how can the violence stop, or when it comes to controlling the hands that the guns to get in, because it's like it's out of control now.
Right, right, right,
It's
right.
out of control now. Like now, back in the day, it wasn't like that, but now it's like where are these guns coming from? And there's all type of guns now.
Yeah, man, because I follow the music business, and of course I check and see what's going on YouTube and stuff like that, man. But you be seeing these cats, they be 15 and 16 years old. They would AK-47, AR-15s, and I'm like, man, like what do a 14 or 15-year-old get that type of gun from? You know what I mean? And
Mm,
and why are they even being introduced to things like that? So it's way different from when we was growing up, man. We kind of had a lot of OGs that you respected, man, and if they if they if they know you came from a good family, they'd be like, young fella, this ain't no place you want to be.
mm.
They'll tell you quick, I'm in it, and I don't even want to be in it. You know what I mean? You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? So so when it comes to you know um a lot of people that you see, just like I just want to say, DJ Vaughn, man, Vanyetta. I was watching the news today. She was working in Columbia 103.9, but I think she worked at a station in Charlotte. But her son got killed recently. I think it's maybe a year or two, but they went to court today,
Mm,
and I just was seeing I seen the news because they had it on the news, and how she was going off in court, and from the story I got, her son wasn't a trouble kid. He wasn't a troublemaker. He was a good kid, athlete and stuff like that, man. And somehow, man, I can't really say what happened. I wasn't there, but he's no longer here with us, and but these what I'm saying about these guns, these are teenagers killing one another. And
mm.
so, we have to at least try to change the narrative, man, and cause you really look at the news, and one thing you understand about me, man, is I I grew up in a home with a with a real dad, and so every evening at around about 6 o'clock, we used to sit there in the living room with my dad and watch the news. He
Mm.
used to say, "You need to know what's going on in your community. You need to know what's going on in your state, in America, and you need to know what's going on in the world." And so he made us watch the news with him. And when I tell the youngest that now, they be like, "What? Watch the news? What you mean?" Uh,
Mm.
so so that so I know times are different, and
Yeah.
so with the with the with the gun violence, man, especially in the poverty communities, you know what I mean. But it's a lot of gun violence outside the poverty communities as well, man. And so when it comes to seeing that the gun violence is at an all time high right now, man, um, what do you think the the legislation laws are trying to do to prevent it and to change it? Or 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 is there not enough of us going up to our local city councilman or county councilman or the mayor of what city you in, and just trying to change the narrative? Why people don't feel safe as they once did.
That, that's a good question, brother. Like even on that political side, when it comes to the laws and stuff that's been made, when it comes to gun laws. To be transparent, I caught my first two felons by the age of 19 because of guns. So I was a teenager walking around with guns. And during that time, they had, like when I caught my first gun charge, I had to sign a gun act law. So once you sign that gun act law, if you get caught with another gun, it could be a federal charge. But see, the laws when it comes to guns, it's not like if you in New York or Virginia when you get caught with a gun, you'll get a lot of time. Like people get caught with guns and they end up doing like 3 to 7 years in federal prison. So it's no harsh consequences if you get caught with a gun unless you kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, but on the political side, I have been hearing they trying to make stricter rules when it comes to guns, but also they making laws that backfired on them when they had the open carry and I think you can be 18 years old or
Right.
21. I think it was
18.
18. Yeah, so when I was young, at 18 you only can get a rifle. So but rifles are a AK is a rifle.
Right.
An AR is a rifle. So military guns are rifles. So 18 years old, you can purchase this gun in your name. You get a shotgun in your name at 18 years old. So you got a lot of young people know that, and they know they can get that gun in their name and get it legit. But at the same time, they don't have the proper knowledge of when they go out and they use that gun in a crowd of people, and you shoot some people. Now you done broke the law, and that's
Right.
when that's when those laws get stricter. Depends on how you use that gun, where you use that gun at, and different stuff like that. But I do believe they trying to change laws when it comes to those guns because now they seeing even with the open carry how that thing backfired on them.
Yeah.
It backfired on them real bad because now it's more younger people out here in these streets with these guns and they use these guns so quick and don't not afraid to use it in public places like Columbia in the mall or at outside in the area with a bunch of people and they reckless with it. But once they go in front of that judge, man, they burning them kids. Like some of them getting like I done worked in the Department of Juvenile Justice on the yard where they send the kids that commit the harsh crimes and it was kids that had juvenile life sentences, 3654s, for using those guns the wrong place, the wrong time, and shooting people. So
Mm.
as a juvenile too, they know the laws are not. It's not. It's not. You as a juvenile, you don't get the same consequence as an adult. So like I said, a juvenile might get a 3654. Some juveniles get 3654s for a murder charge. Depends on how the murder was committed.
Hmm.
And that's just a juvenile life sentence. So if they committed the crime when they was 15, they in there today about 20 and 21. And sometimes depends on their behavior, they don't have to do that whole 3 to 5 years.
Mm.
They can do 2, 3 years.
Mm.
So that's why a lot of young people know that when it comes to the system, it's no really harsh consequences unless you commit a crime that's overkill. When a young person stand over somebody and shoot them and unload a whole clip, that's overkill. Then you start seeing them giving them guys those football numbers. Then 25, 35, 40 years life because they charge them as adult. But as long as they get charged in family court, they know they can't get that much time.
Mm. Okay.
So
Okay.
if a kid know that and they know like it's just gonna be a spank on the wrist,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I
know.
understand. Yeah.
So they really, oh, I when it comes to that politics and the laws, they gotta figure something out. maybe going back when you saying that it seems like majority of the crime is being committed in the underserved communities. Um, you know where that come from, man. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. But at the same time, they need to do something with the gun laws because, man, I've seen the most schools get shot up in the last 10 years than I've ever seen in my life, man.
Hmm.
Man, these children can't even go to school in peace. You know, as a parent, you almost have to be afraid to send your kid to school.
But look at too how even when it comes to the video games, um, we have more shooting games on videos now. So you have a young person that's on a video game, and they got these big guns on there. They shooting people. You know, it's programming them. So you got the video games, shooting games, the best games that people like to play. I don't play video games, but it's what's the video game? Because what guy told me he's playing tonight is it Call of Duty,
Yeah,
I think.
Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
So you got these shooting games. You got the music glorifying it. You go on social media. You can watch a live video of somebody shooting somebody at a gas station, and when people, a young person, see that, they mocking that stuff. You know, they mocking what they see. Yeah, they mocking what they
Yeah.
see, and it's molding and shaping them. And now they thinking that life is what they see on the video games, see in the music videos, or what they see in social media, but it's not explaining the consequences that come behind all that, and it really don't hit them until they get incarcerated. Where you at, brother? Bro, gone. Wait for brother come back in.
I'm here, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, and let's rewind back. You said that you work with the Department of Juvenile Justice, and what kind of experience was that for you?
Just seeing kids that incarcerated for using guns and still locked up and still thinking about carrying guns.
Mm,
You know, like I'm like, bro, like you go back home with that same mentality, you're gonna be back. You know,
right.
when and I'm and that's what I'm saying with the mentality of how they been programmed through the music, through the media, that when you see children, even though they're incarcerated the whole time, they doing like this to everybody. They'll walk up on a grown up and do this, talking about a switch cheese and somebody. And you like,
That's
bro,
wild, man.
you locked up. Like, you still thinking like that? You still thinking with a criminal mentality? Like, if you don't change that mentality, you're gonna go home and you thinking about getting that gun again.
Right.
But what are you gonna do to put yourself in a situation or put yourself in an environment so that you won't need a gun, but you'll realize that majority of people who feel like they need these guns, they go back to that same environment they familiar with and they used to, and this criminal activity going on, or they that gang lifestyle, they feel like I need this gun for my safety. So they rather get caught with it than without it. Where you at, bro? What's going on with your camera? Tune in, y'all. We live. Speaking on stop gun violence. Waiting on bro to come back in. Mhm. You back in motion, bro?
All right, fam, I'm here. Yeah, I'm back
All
in
right.
motion, man. I'm I'm back in motion,
All right.
man. So let's talk. Well,
but I definitely want to talk about as far as what you do with the lounges. Well, you still got the lounge, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what you doing with the lounge these days, or what type of events you have coming up with the lounge?
So right now, like, I kind of fell back for a little minute. Um,
Hmm.
when it came to the lounge, because I was more on the mentoring, working in different facilities from SCDC to DJJ mentoring. I've been doing that for like probably like a good year now, year some change. So now I'm back on the journey as far as with the Christian Lounge, pretty much being more um, strategic on how we move and making sure we making the impact and engaging the way we supposed to instead of just doing events, but making sure that we impacting lives and following up with people and making sure even when it comes to the spiritual level, when it comes to discipleship and just pointing to the people, make sure we're doing that the correct way instead of just doing events and leaving, allowing people to leave without really, you know what I'm saying, discipling them or checking on them and pointing to them. Like, 'cause that's what it takes, like just building a relationship with everybody that come through the lounge. So now we done pretty much every third Saturday or the fourth Saturday of the month, we're doing the Christian Lounge. Now we are Beltline doing it. So we had the first event last month, and we did my book launch, and we're doing some tours this summer, the Gangster the Godly Man tour and the Love Thy Neighbor tour. So those are community tours where we're gonna go into the communities and do what we do in the lounge, but bring that experience to the community.
Okay. Okay. How many brothers involved, you know?
Yeah, it's acting up, bro. You freezing. Nah, you still freezing. Robot mode.
Alonzo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I'm having some bad technical issues on this side, man. So I'll be hitting you up so we can reschedule the full interview. Is that cool with you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, fam. I definitely appreciate your time, man. I definitely be in touch with you.
No problem.
All right, peace and
All
blessings,
right,
my brother.
peace, bro. Likewise.